Hey guys, welcome back to Rack Time with Chris and Chris Morgan. We've kind of been out of the loop for a couple weeks, just work schedule, and I had an accident. Actually, was trying to cut my way to a camera because the storm put knocked some trees down, and I was trying to cut my way to the camera and. A big tree in the road. I go down over the hill. Long story short, I cut the tree out. I had about a 6-inch locust tree pin, and when I started to cut the tree, just as soon as the saw touched it, it come apart, smacked me in the face, knocked me out, put my teeth through my lip, made my jaw pretty sore. My teeth still pretty sore, but I was having trouble speaking, so I really couldn't make a video because of a little bit of speech problems. But we want to get back in this thing. Like I say, we've been out for a couple of weeks. We haven't made no videos. Really haven't hunted a whole lot. I've hunted, I think, 3 days. I actually took my little girl yesterday and had just enjoyed the evening. What about you? Have you hunted any?
4 days.
Huh?
4 days this past week.
4 days.
Times.
Well, it's been warm. Been pretty warm, and these deer are kind of, right now in West Virginia, they're transitioning to scrapes. I love October.
Starting to spar.
Yeah.
I've had a few come in spar.
Well, a lot of small bucks sparring in front of us. I see it on camera too right now. A lot of small bucks sparring, but we've had a big mass crop this year, and these deer are they're wearing these oaks out. Still throwing the PNR to them. They're still, Roger actually told me this evening he freshened the mineral side up, and he said there was a couple of doe came in and they laid in that mineral. That's what's so good about that PNR mineral, man. I don't never quit using it. They hit it pretty much year round. Some PNR bucks. I don't know if you guys have followed our Rack Time page and seen some of the bucks that we've profiled. Sierra Casto, I think how you pronounce her name, is. I think that buck she took was around 160. Man, it was a beautiful deer. Had all kinds of character. I think that was a Gun County. That was Randolph County.
Was it?
It was Randolph County. So
that's what we're at.
there's some big bucks hitting the ground in these Gun counties. And she was had been using PNR this season. So she contacted Roger as soon as she got that buck on the ground and let him know
that's what we're bragging about.
That she got that buck. But we hope your guys' season's going good, and I'd like to see some of you guys. If you take some deer, post them to our page, post them to Rack Time page or YouTube, and let us see some of your bucks. Kind of give us your story, how it happened for you. But this week, man, this week's gonna be good.
It's gonna be a good one.
It's we got a front coming. The temperature's dropping. It actually dropped this season.
It's 34.
Yeah, so it's gonna drop down in the 30s tonight. So I know Roger's in for the rest of the week. He's gonna hunt. A couple buddies from North Carolina are coming in. They're gonna hunt. Hopefully, some of these bigger bucks will get on their feet this week.
I hope something happens.
Yeah.
A bunch of 3.
It's been slow. It's been slow for everybody. It really has. I mean, I got a couple mature bucks showing up. They're just not real regular right now because it's been so hot. I do have a water hose in my food plot, and they've been killing it. There's actually a buck came in this evening. I hunted a few hours this evening. He came in and he hit that water hose. Me and my little girl, we hunted yesterday evening, and buck came in, a couple of doe came in. They went straight to the water hose. So that water hose is pretty nice when it's hot out.
Yeah, they like it.
But I've transitioned some cameras to some scrapes. They're actually.
A lot of salt right now too.
Oh yeah. They're actually transitioned to some the scrapes right now. They're hitting scrapes pretty hard. My experience in this area for us here in these 4 bow counties, I love the last 2 weeks of October. It's just, man, they get on fire. They're real predictable.
Yeah.
Now after that, yeah, it's just flip of a quarter. I mean,
Maybe in the right place,
right place, right time. They start really, following these doe around stuff, and I mean, they're just unpredictable. You can't predict where they're going to be. They may be here today and 3 ridges over tomorrow, but
Jim Bob's buck down at the mouth of the hollow come up there.
I mean, we're going to see some new bucks. We're getting ready to see. Some new bucks. Hopefully, this guy here we have on the table. Hopefully, he'll show up here real soon. I mean, he's always been a regular, but it's been in late October, November.
Chase Hill stay in all the way till January too.
Yeah, he stays late. Even sheds here local. I mean, we found him real close here. I've found him for 3 years, but he could show up any day. We're excited about him. We're really gonna hold off this year. I'm not gonna just settle. I'm gonna hold off and try to go after at least a good 10-pointer. I've killed 8-pointers the last couple of years, and I really pressed for time because I'm back in the mines and working and stuff. But this year I'm gonna hold off. I hope you hold off.
No, I ain't.
Huh?
I ain't.
Maybe if you hold off, maybe Big Joe will show up.
I passed on a few of them 8s this past week. My little boy, smoking, daddy, smoking.
I know the one you sent me. He'd been regular there all summer on PNR. I don't know why he's broken that brow. I mean, it's just like the Mr. Twister buck I have. He broke that 3 off, and it just so
See, I ain't
heartbreaking.
coming in either.
Yeah. Well, I hope he don't come in. We got a really, really great. He's 4.5-year-old, which I mean that's the prime to shoot him. I think my experience here. I actually talked to a buddy of mine, Eric Gravely. Maybe get him on the show sometime. He's a good friend of mine. We was talking last night, and we was talking about. He sent me a couple pictures of some bucks, and we were aging them. He asked me what I thought they were. And, I think the deer he sent me was a 4.5, and I said my experience is that's one of their best years until they get up to about 7.
Yeah.
So he said I agree, and because we've seen bucks in the past that once they go 4.5, 5, 6, it's like they don't change a whole lot. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully the PNR will bring them out of that. We're gonna wait to them all winter, and just see what kind of difference it makes when springtime comes.
Yeah.
See if they put on some bone. But we just want to jump back on here and do a short video, letting you guys know that we're still around. We just had some delays, and like I say, I had an accident, got hit in the mouth. A lot of guys making fun, saying my wife did it. But no, it was a tree, man. Hey, if you're out there and you're doing some clearing some roads after this storm, I know we've had really bad storms and stuff, and a lot of trees down. Hey, watch yourself, be safe. Those smallest trees can fool you. I didn't think that little tree could do anything to harm me at all, and next thing I know, I'm wiping blood off my face. So
what was it? The tree?
It really was a tree. Yeah.
you got me thinking now. Y'all was working on a float last week.
Yeah, we had homecoming last week. My little girl did, and we just been busy with that. We just had a real stressful, busy week last week. We couldn't shoot no video. I was on night shift for the 2 weeks prior to that, and it kind of messed our schedules up. So I'm back on day shift, and I'm free this week. Shooting video. We just want you to know that we're still doing our thing. We're going to hit it hard the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to take maybe a week off. I really haven't made up my mind. I'm going to kind of watch the cameras and watch this weather. I'm thinking I'm going to do it this week because it's first cold front, man. It does something to them.
It's going to start warming up next weekend, I believe.
Yeah, but that last week of October, I know a lot of people don't like to hunt mornings in this area because they're, especially if you're feeding your bait and they're in there on that food majority of the night, and you may go in there and you bump them out. Just I always watch my cell cameras and just see when they were in there and when they wasn't. I know 2 years ago I shot about 140-inch 8-point on October 29th, And leading up to that, he had been there on the 26th, 27th, 28th, all around 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. So he was there every morning. And I snuck in there on the 29th and got settled in. And I had about 9 doe out in the plot.
Yeah.
And I seen him sneaking through the back on the outside of my, on the fence. And he come under the fence, under the barbed wire, and come into the plot. And I just made I took a 1/4 shot, and I rushed a shot. I shouldn't have done that. I think the deer actually, I think he actually passed. I think he died, but I just couldn't recover him. I couldn't find him. He showed back up about a week later. He had a really big knot. It looked like infection. You could tell he was sick. And I think he passed. I just couldn't locate him, but it was heartbreaking. Awesome hunt. I got a little bit of it on video before it happened, but it was right there. This buck right here, he actually got killed that year. That's sheds from the year prior, but that year he got killed. That same week, this buck daylighted. The same dates that buck did. He was there like the 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th.
Couldn't be on.
I was in Ohio.
Yeah.
I went to Ohio to hunt for a week and came back, and I couldn't get a cell cam to work where he was at.
Yeah.
So I came back from the week of Ohio and went and checked that, pulled the card on that camera, and he had been there, man. He was just laying in there. The end of October. So if you've not thought about it, you may want to think about getting in the woods the end of these next 2 weeks.
Wasn't that you who told me that a deer will repeat itself like that a year prior? Say the deer came in on the 29th of October, he's going to repeat that.
I've read a lot of things and watched a lot of things about that those deer will kind of, within a couple days, they'll show up in the same area. And I have seen that. You go back to the cameras and to the pictures, and you look at some of the bucks that show up year after year through the rut, and then you look at the dates, and it's kind of right there in the same time frames. These bucks show back up. And funny story before we shut it down, but Phil had hunted in a spot. Is on a lease here in Gilbert, a local lease, that skillet lease we were on.
Yeah.
And I had summered a buck, but we had him on a scrape on this little bench right underneath the old strip mine. And I'd set Phil up a place there that summer. And he went all summer. And that buck had been on that scrape the year prior, and I told him, I said, man, this is going to be a hot spot because there were a pile of doe there. Yeah. I said, it'll be a hot spot during the rut. So I summered that deer. I actually found his shed and summered him probably 7-8 miles away. Okay. Fast forward to November, I was hunting behind the house, and Phil would text, and he was kind of disgusted with the place because he's like, man, I haven't seen anything. I ain't got no bucks showing up here. I said, man, it's the rut. Anything can happen because you got all those doe there. So it was just minutes after he sent me that text and said, big buck down, BBD. And I was like, what? You just said you hadn't seen anything. So he said, come on, man, I shot a good one. So I rushed down there. Phil's colorblind, by the way. He can't see blood. So I said, man, just don't mess with anything. Just show me where he was standing. And he showed me where that buck was standing. And man, it was blood everywhere. He slaughtered him. Yeah, it's a perfect heart shot. And I said, you really can't see that blood? And he's like, no. He wasn't even excited because he couldn't see the blood. I was like, you can get really excited because this deer's not going to be far. And it was the same buck that had been on that scrape the year prior, killed it on the same tree, the same scrape, the following year. So yeah, they'll show back up. Don't get discouraged, man. I know you don't have a whole lot.
I know who's going to be showing back up.
But he's coming. He's coming. I'm excited for it too. So we're just gonna play our cards right and hold off and just be patient. I think you be patient and wait on the deer you're wanting, it'll happen. So
God's timing.
yeah, God's timing. I believe that with all my heart. So, you anything else to add to it, brother?
I ain't got nothing. Not this week.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be coming back in here profiling you a big buck by the end of the month.
Yeah.
Like I say, get on there and share your harvest. Let us see what you're doing and how your season's going. Communicate with us.
Yep. Tag us in it on the Facebook page.
Tag us on the Facebook page and let us see some of your stuff. So until next time.
It's rack time.